Good evening, William Mean here, 1799, glad you could come around. Carbon dioxide, carbon emissions, and this is interesting. You can get a lot of this information on your computer, your laptop, iPad, whatever. So if you like this video, please share it, subscribe. Don't cost you nothing, but it helps me out. And you're going to see how I think about this stuff. We talk about electric cars. We talk about the government is telling you you have to buy an electric car. You need to buy an electric car to save the planet. Some states are going to ban the combustion engine. Actually, it doesn't combust, it burns inside, it expands the gases, but that's something totally different. But anyway, that's going to be hard to do. But anyway, I want to read some of this stuff to you, and then I'm going to show you why we'll look into this. A lot of this information I'm giving you, you can get on your laptop, a library, your iPad, even your phone. It's out there, all right? It's not misinformation because it's done by many colleges and universities, such as I have it here. I know I have it. And it's interesting because you can get a lot of this stuff. Here we go. The Smithsonian Institute and U.S. Geological, Volcano Facts and Information, National Geographic, About Volcanoes, National Geographic, U.S. and US.gov, Map Currently Active Volcanoes and Discoveries, and these are all great information, not misinformation. Anyway, this gentleman has wrote this out there, and it says today's rate of atmospheric carbon dioxide increased 10 times faster than any other point at the past 50,000 years. 50,000 years. That's interesting, right? Researchers have found that through the detailed chemical analysis of ancient Antarctic ice. In other words, what that means is they drill a hole into the ice deep and they pull it out and they analyze this tube of ice of what was in there. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is a greenhouse gas that occurs naturally in the atmosphere when carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere. It's containable to the warming of the climate due to the greenhouse effect. In the past, the level have fluctuated due to the age, cycles, and other natural causes, but today they are raised by becoming human emissions. So in other words, we're part of this mess that I'm going to talk about. Okay? Ice has built up in the Antarctic over hundreds of thousands of years, including ancient atmospheric gases trapped in an air bubble. Scientists have samples of the ice collected by drilling cores, like I was telling you before, up to 2 miles or 3.2 miles or kilometers deep, and to analyze the traces of chemicals, buildups, records in the past climate. Now, this is where this really gets interesting. Previous research, is that what I want there? Yes. You probably won't expect to see that the dead of the Ice Age, this is a scientist, but the interest of the pygmy, whatever that's called, and what we wanted to back into those periods to conduct measurements of the glacier details. Now I'm just kind of skipping through a lot of stuff here. The Henrik Evans are truly remarkable, said Castro Bazar, that Bizarro, whatever his name is, hope don't butcher it, an associate professor of the College of Earth, Ocean, Atmospheric Science, and a co-author of the study. We think that they are caused by a dramatic collapse of the North American ice sheet. This sets in motion for a chain reaction that involves changes in the tropical non-sooner and the southern atmosphere or hemisphere, western winds, and so forth, which includes carbonitions. This is the point that I look at here. During the last natural rise in carbon dioxide increased by 14 parts per million, was 55 years. The jump occurred about once every 7,000 years, which that's different what this thing is going to tell you in a minute. At today's rate, the magnitude increase takes about 5 to 6 years. I wish I had this, I can do this better for me, but I don't. Evidence suggests that the periods of natural carbon dioxide rises westerly winds and plays an important role in the circulation of the deep ocean, will also strengthen the leading to the rapid release of carbon dioxide in the southern oceans. Okay. That's one thing. Now, there are 1,350 active volcanoes on the planet. Last known report. Add 9 more to it. Now, as of April 19, 2024, there are 48 volcanoes worldwide that are considered active. An active volcano is one that has erupted during the Helaron approach. Approximately the last was 11,700 years. Mind you, this guy talked about researching some of this stuff goes back 50,000 years, but actually in the past 7,000 years. Now, mind you, these volcanoes are pumping out tons of carcinogens, gases, and you just name it, they're pumping it out there. Like I said, a lot of this stuff you can get it up online, but what I'm trying to tell you is these politicians are sounding this alarm along with a whole lot of other people about carbon emissions, carbon dioxides, that you gotta go out and buy an electric car. Sad part about it all is it ain't gonna do you a damn bit of good. I spent weeks on this stuff. It's not gonna do you a damn bit of good. If you want to buy an electric car, that should be how I would say voluntarily. You want to pick and choose what you want. You want to buy a diesel truck to pull your boat or your camper down the road. That's your choice. You want to buy an electric car. That's your choice. Not have somebody standing over there in Washington tell you, no, you're going to buy it because we're going to tell you to. Now, there is so much here that I can't really try to go into the amount of time I have. Volcanic eruptions are responsible for the release of molten rock or lava from deep within the Earth, forming the rock on the Earth's surface, but largely most explosive eruptions are also impacting the atmosphere. Gases, dust, particles are thrown in the atmosphere during a large volcanic eruption that can influence climate. Particles spewed from the volcanoes, like dust, ash, can also cause temporary cooling, but shady incoming solar radiation in the particles as they're launched high enough in the atmosphere. The cooling effect can last months or even years, depending upon the eruption. But volcanoes can also cause climate warming. Climate warming. See, That's the whole thing here. This is a big dude, right? It's one of the super volcanoes, really. But this is Mount Ergi in Algeria. I think that's what it's called. But it causes massive warming. So in other words, if it doesn't have the ash and stuff to pump it out in the atmosphere, you're having a large amount of heat being dispersed. So when we look at global warming, is it part man or part nature? We'll go back 50,000 years and he says spikes in it, and it's going to continue 10 times over a certain amount of time. But the problem comes down to is how much? 5.55% maybe per million parts? Really? But the thing comes down to is that these gases are also particles and dust and disturbing gases. Here's something. Below, an overview of material that makes their way to the volcanic eruption into the atmosphere. Particles of dust, ash, sulfur dioxide, greenhouse gases like water vapor or carbon dioxide. Now, as I said in my other video before, a lot of this stuff here is carbon dioxide. But when you start taking out your vegetation, trees, all that stuff, right? You're cutting down your air filter, which creates oxygen. So I know people say, oh, you're a tree hugger. No, that makes no difference what I am. I'm not really a tree hugger. I'm just saying, when you cut down most of your forest, right, you're changing the atmosphere. Like hurricanes, tornadoes, and all that happy horse stuff. So what's going down to is this. The planet is heating up on its own. That's why you're getting all these massive volcanoes, massive eruptions, and earthquakes. Unfortunately, we have to live with it. But is it all man? No. These politicians said they've looked at a lot of these climate change reports. I called a couple of them, and one or two said he did, and one said he never had a chance to read, but he's going to sign the bill because he believes in his colleagues. That doesn't help him out as much. Like I said before, people, you have to read into this stuff. There's 1,359 active volcanoes out there. That's a lot. Some of them are super powerful. But is it all man-made? Like I said, you can get a lot of this information out there. It's out there. But they want you to go buy an electric car. I don't think it's to help the environment. I think it's to help their pocketbook. That's my belief. You can't pull your camper or your big trailer or whatever, or your boat up and down the road with an electric car. There's a lot of work you can do. Especially if you go in the woods and you run through some heavy mud poles clear up to the windshield. Unless you got a snorkel set, you know, I don't think I'd want an electric car. But a lot of people use four-wheel drive trucks. Dodge, Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, Taconras, Jeeps. I don't think you're going to want an electric car. Till then, keep your friends and family close. Call these politicians and tell them no. It wasn't a really good interview, but I'm limited on time. There's just so much that I went through. You can get it too. You take care.